Hey, welcome back, YouTube. Hope you had a good Monday. We are here with another trade recap video. We're going to go over the drama that happened this morning as a result of the news that came out last night regarding Facebook and check out exactly what happened to the stock today as a result. There was a lot of movement, especially at the bell, and we kind of found some consolidation around the 325 level a little bit later in the day. So what we're going to do is have a look real quick at the news and also see what happened. Okay guys, unless you were living under a rock or you just didn't get out of bed today and did not look at the news or the stock market, I want to fill you in on a little something that happened last night. So there was a news story that came out from CBS/60 Minutes, which I have up on the screen right now. A whistleblower came out and actually named herself and spoke to one of the reporters about how Facebook algorithms work and how it basically pits us against each other to continue violence and negativity in order to get interactions. Now, we all know that's how it works, but sometimes you really need something with a little bit of weight behind it to put it in the forefront and make that, I guess, more real and tangible. So when this news story came out, it was only inevitable that this morning the stock was going to suffer. Now, how much it was going to suffer was really going to be the question. We're going to, I'm not going to go into it anymore. If you want to find out about it or actually watch the interview, all you need to do is go to YouTube, or you can go to the 60 Minutes website on CBS and check it out for yourself. I did watch the first half and it was really interesting, but again, it really just mentions stuff that we already know, and one of the reasons that I don't use Facebook. So we did have a very large drop in the price, and honestly, they also had some outages, and I think they're still experiencing outages, as I record this video right now. Let's go ahead and have a look at the daily chart and also the trade that I did take on Facebook today. Okay, guys, if you're checking out the daily chart, which I have pulled up right now, you can already see that Facebook has been giving back a lot of profits here recently. They had hung out around this 384 to 380 level for several days, a couple of weeks. It looks like it would try to test that level but can never go through. I honestly, personally, don't really keep up with Facebook as far as trading it that much. I'm normally, because of the price, it's like right in between Tesla and then the normal stocks I trade, which are around the $30 to $40 mark. It's just never really on my radar until this morning. So what that led me to do, and again with our trading community, is came in and I had a look this morning before trading. I knew it was volatile just because of all the news and it's showing up on the lists and whatnot. But we had here, and let me go ahead and shrink my window down a little bit so y'all can stop looking at my face and actually see the charts. We have the daily giving back almost $40 in this amount of time here, which should have been a really big red flag. Again, I didn't really trade it during those weeks, so I don't know if there were any earnings or any catalysts like that. I'm sure people that are familiar with Tesla a lot more than I am could probably fill you in on that. But the really big thing that we want to go over in this video is what happened today. So when this bad boy opened up this morning, we are going to click on the 5-minute, and we're going to have a look here. Let's go ahead and get rid of this arrow. This is where we opened this morning, right here. So we didn't really have a very large gap down. It's not like it overnight, we woke up this morning at 4:30 when all the early tickers started coming through and all the early orders, and it just lost like $50 worth of value. That's really not what happened. We had kind of a slow burn in the pre-market. Now we did have a little bit here, which was at 9 o'clock. So it wasn't up here. It wasn't at like 7. It wasn't at 8. It wasn't really early, like a really early jump on the drop. What happened is right here, right around 9 a.m., and honestly right around 9:04, that is when the massive amount of volume came in and everybody said, okay, we've got to get out of this. And as you'll see, it was right around VWAP, right there, and that was really the last time that Facebook even flirted with VWAP. You'll see that it pulled it down right at the bell, but at that point it was a pretty much a lost cause. There was no coming back from this drop. We had a drop from 340 all the way down to 336.4 in a matter of about 25 minutes. So if you were trading pre-market, this would have been a good trade for sure. Again, you would have just had to been watching it, because it's not like it moved at any particular time for any reason. It just, all of a sudden, it came out of nowhere, lost VWAP, and it just went to the gutter. We did have a formation here, as you can see. It touched S5, and then we had this downward trend right here. It tried to cup up, but then it started forming this downward angle, basically a descending triangle, which correlated exactly with the opening bell. We had this volume come in here, which was a really good amount of volume. And as you can see, I took a partial on this. I'm not really comfortable with taking first/second minute candles right now. So when I take an entry, these are going to be half positions. I'm not going to load up the boat on this. The biggest reason is because I didn't have the VWAP to use as support. So if I were to take a full position here, and then it were to have bounced up to the VWAP and went through, then if I'm going to stop out, that's going to cause a huge loss, and I'm already going to be down really big for the morning. So that's why I went ahead and just took half of my position. And if I would have stopped out here at the VWAP and it would have opened above, I would have been red, but it wouldn't have just completely blown up my morning. It did bounce back up, and look what level it found. It exactly found the S5 level, the support 5 on the Camarilla pivot point, and it touched that, and it never looked back. As this moved back down and it lost this pre-market level here, I went ahead and added and got to my full position. So once it was there, I was pretty much done as far as loading up the bus on that. And it actually formed a really good breakout from the 1 minute candle. Normally the entry you want to have to be safe is going to be this level here, and again, I was just reviewing this this trade strategy. Normally this right here would be your first entry. As you see the pullback and it move out of this range, say it lost S6 and it moved below this candle, we had a gap down, and we also had the negative bearish volume, so that was what we were looking for. And also, we didn't want it to be too overextended from the VWAP. That way, you know, we didn't have to worry about a really big bounce or a correction or something like that. So I was able to load up right here, and then as you can see, I partialed out all the way. This was really my best partial here. It was right around 332, and I think my average was right around 334.7. So I did get a really good move, and that was by far my best move of the day. Now, I did trade Facebook a few more times. As you can see here, I did get stopped out one more time, and the reason being is I traded for the break of this 9 EMA, but if I would have waited just a couple more candles, we had another run up to the VWAP right here. And that was its last ditch effort to bounce off and make a positive turn. As you can see, I did stop out. This was a full position here, so I didn't really, I didn't halfway in. That way, you know, I could have added into the position. This was a full position. So once I had that and I saw it move up past the 9, I said, okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop this out right now and just look for another entry point. I did get back in later on the day. I'll go ahead and pull that up. These weren't really huge wins, but as you can see, I didn't trade through the afternoon, and I did come back in here a little bit later this afternoon. It just found a level right around 325, and it kept going up there, selling off, going back, selling off. So it was really hard to find a really good level. What I was able to find is this level here. I was basically playing the bounce off of the 9 EMA at this point. I didn't get the perfect entry that I wanted on this short, but I did get an entry that was close enough to the 9 EMA that if it would have rebounded, I would have felt fine stopping out. As you can see here, it ran up and then we had a red doji candle right there, which represented it just couldn't push and open above the 9. And as it moved back down, I went ahead and took a short at this level here, and then I partialed out here, and I did have some slippage on the break even, so that's why you see my final partial was up here, right at the 9. I probably could have sat in the position just because of how bearish Facebook has been all day, but I wasn't trying to do that. And as you can see here, it did eventually rip past the 9, and that's when it made this huge move back up to 324.5. I did re-enter one more time, and this move was for a break of this low right here. I was looking for this level right here, and it correlated, and there were a few lines. Let me get rid of this huge line and show you what I was looking for. There was a level back here that was touching here, and it was touching here, so I was basically looking for a break under that level right there because we had such descending coming off of this. Basically, I was playing off of the 9 EMA. There was really no super crazy strategy on this. I was playing bearish momentum. I was waiting for huge candles rip up and then for it to pull back down. And then I just entered here again, and I re-entered right here. So I went up to a full position with 2 entries, and you know, that was pretty much it. As you can see, I had my full position here, and then I took, again, these were small trades. These were not huge winners. These were like $40 and $50 winners, but I partialed out here, and then you know, that was a good 40-cent win, but then I stopped out break even there. So that was pretty much my day on Facebook. I did take one trade on Tesla, which I got stopped out. Tesla made a really good run up to 800 and actually broke through 800 today. It just didn't have the staying power, and I tried to catch it on a short back down. It didn't stay down to where I wanted it, so I just stopped out really shortly. I didn't feel like losing my butt on Tesla today, especially since they've been really bullish here recently. So, okay, guys, let's keep an eye on Facebook tomorrow. They do have, I don't want to say that they're going to have enough power to rebound and go back up, because that would really be hard to say. I was having a look at some of these levels here on the daily earlier today, and as you can see here, this was one of the key levels that they were bouncing off of. It is the 200 EMA on the daily, so it's acting like really strong support around 322. I was hoping that I could get an actual break under the 200 on this last short that I took on Facebook, but it just couldn't continue to move lower. So tomorrow I'm going to have a look at Facebook for sure, first thing pre-market, to see if it was able to maybe sell off after the bell and move below 322, and we'll see if there's another opportunity for a short or possibly a bounce back. We all know what Facebook is and what they do, so even a little bit of negative news, it's really all about investors and if they feel comfortable leaving their money in the company, and if they're going to continue to be profitable. I think this is probably going to be a short term. It may sell off a little bit more, but I wouldn't expect it to, you know, completely lose all levels whatsoever. Again, I could be wrong. There may be some more crazy news come out, but you know, to return down to VWAP, that would be around, I mean, at 276. That's a big move. So let's take it day by day on Facebook, but for sure there's volume and there is volatility. Thanks, you guys, for coming by. I hope you also had some good luck this morning and caught the right moves. I hope to see you tomorrow. Take care.